partner, the left-wing Five Star Movement, is blocking the EU from backing him. One of its legislators said Europe should stop obeying American orders. We're joined now by Jason Marczak. He's the director of the Adrian Arsht Latin America Center at the Atlantic Council. Jason, thanks very much for coming in. The woman in that report said she thinks this lasts for days. Do you think she's right? At what point does the Venezuelan military effectively decide we're going in with the opposition?
Well, Katie, I hope it lasts for days, because the Venezuelan people have been suffering, as that woman said, for 20 years, ever since Hugo Chavez came into power. The key is going to be getting humanitarian assistance to the Venezuelan people, as was just shown in that video. And what we're going to be seeing, 2 weeks ago, Secretary Pompeo announced $20 million humanitarian assistance. This morning, the Lima Group, a group of 14 Latin American nations plus Canada that's been leading the charge on Venezuela for some years, is meeting in Ottawa. The Canadians today pledged $53 million in humanitarian assistance to Venezuela. What's going to be important is getting that assistance to the Venezuela-Colombia border and showing the Venezuelan people that assistance is there, it's ready, and that the Guaido interim government is actually ready to deliver on actual substance to improve the lives of the Venezuelan people.
To what extent, though, does that depend on the military deciding that they are going to abandon Maduro and back the opposition leader?
Well, we've seen certain generals in the military increasingly.
Not very many, yeah?
Not very many, but we've seen certain generals. I think the key is going to be the rank and file. It's going to be the foot soldiers. It's going to be the people, just like that family in the video, who are also suffering and trying to bring food on their table every single day. It's not the generals that are benefiting from the illicit corruption of the Maduro regime, but it's the people that are struggling day to day. And are those soldiers going to really prevent humanitarian assistance from entering the country? I would hope that they wouldn't, because it's beneficial both for the soldiers as well as for the people.
Jason, Mr. Maduro still holds all the levers of power. He has the state broadcaster, the judiciary, the paramilitary forces. Just listening to you there talking about the military, is there a reason why the top brass in particular feel inextricably linked to Maduro?
The top brass feels incredibly linked to Maduro because they have benefited handsomely under the Maduro regime. The way that Nicolas Maduro has kept the top brass in check is by paying them off. The Maduro regime is engaged in illegal narcotics trade, arms smuggling, human smuggling, illegal gold trade, and even the money that comes into the oil sector. Part of that goes for social programs. A large chunk of that goes off for corrupt purposes to keep the military top brass in check and supportive of Maduro.
So you would have to presume then that there are severe personal risks now to Mr. Guaido.
There are risks. The special unit of Venezuelan special military unit entered his home last week and harassed his daughter and his wife while he was out at a rally. And so this and interim President Guaido continues to move from location to location to avoid being captured by the military. But in the same regard, I think the lack of full-on military support for Maduro is shown by the fact that Guaido is still out there. He is still out at rallies. He was out over the weekend rallying the Venezuelan people, and so that shows that the military remains supportive of Maduro, but that support might not be 100% support for the time being.
Okay, Jason Marczak, thank you very much for coming in to join us. Interesting that Juan Guaido